Well, hello. Um, Sorry that it's starting a bit late because, well, mainly getting this web set up. I was trying to use my camera and it wasn't working. So hopefully the sound is coming in okay. Um, and for those of you who are joining me for this wonderful New Year's Eve, welcome. And Also, I'd like to welcome those who are listening in on Blog Talk Radio. And, this is first off, Happy New Year. I was hoping to start off about like 10 minutes ago, but like I said, problems with the technology. So, hi and welcome. And I hope everyone is having a wonderful New Year's. I hope everyone is being safe. I hope everyone is, just really letting go of the stuff that they don't need to hold on to. And I have my, you know, this is like, the Martinellis, because I have found that the older I've gotten, the less I can tolerate actual champagne. So, um, congratulations. You made it through 2019 and we're now in 2020. So, happy new year. Yay. And the other issue is that living in the mountains, there's, a certain issue sometimes with internet. So, oh, hello, Luna. So if you hear meowing, that's my cat Luna, who's for some reason, every time I turn on a camera or turn on the computer and start talking to it, she decides that she absolutely has to be involved. It's kind of late, so Sam is actually settled in for the night. So say Happy New Year's, Luna. Happy New Year's. So I just wanted to have a chance to, one, tell you Happy New Year's, and two, to be able to kind of, wrap up the year. 2019 had a lot of very active and intense aspects to it. And, for some, it was really, really hard. And if you're one of those it was really, really hard for, I'm sorry. And I hope that it at least ended out better. And if it didn't, well, you finished the year. And tomorrow starts not only a new year, but a new decade. So I wanted to, at least encourage you to consider that now is the time to create what you want to create, what you want to bring in to have happen. And I hope that you have been thinking about, because we had talked about, and I've been tweeting about the idea of creating your plan for next year. What is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to set into motion? So think about it. Think about what it is. And I've been thinking about what I want to set into motion. And what I decided that next year was going to be about is going to be about empathy, and specifically living as a grounded empath. And a lot of people, have a lot of feelings about empathy. Some consider it a blessing, some consider it a curse. The thing is, you can't really consider it either one. The best way to look at it is as a tool that you can choose to use or not choose to use. And when you choose to use it, it's intentional, it's conscious, it is something that in that moment it will assist you in doing something. If it doesn't assist you, if it doesn't, present itself as something necessary in order to solve a problem, then you don't use it. So, what is it that you have about empathy? Oh, Sam's awake. Sam, there are booms going on outside. Sam, come here. Come here. No, he doesn't seem to feel like he wants to get off the bed, but he's going to just sit there and bark. Oh, settling down. So, live streams are so fun. And the thing is when I first started all of my stuff was live streamed. And then I got used to the idea of being able to, pre-record and all of that. But it's sort of strange going back to, really where I was a couple of years back. And for those of you who are listening in on Blog Talk Radio, and if I'm looking down, it's because I've got two different things going on. I've got the radio thing going on, and the video here. But I it was always live and unrehearsed. So sometimes life needs to be that way. It just needs to be kind of, fly by the seat of your pants type of thing. And other times you need to make a plan. You need to figure out what you want to do and what's the best way to get there. So, in considering what I wanted to do for this coming year, there will still be weekly broadcasts, but I'm going to see about what it is that I can do. I want to create something, maybe even like a daily notification of something that I, put together, and, that I'll pre-record, and then it'll be set to go off every day. So just like a little note, a little reminder, a little bit of encouragement on empathy and managing empathy. So, I really am excited by continuing, and continuing to work on YouTube, and considering to improve the channel and to really expand it. And I look forward to growing the community. And if you appreciate this, and I'm kind of just sort of wanting to keep this one short. um I originally planned for about, like, half an hour, but that was like I wanted to do a whole prep before midnight and then afterwards. And that didn't work out because, well, technology. So I'm going to work on that, work better on that. And my apologies if the image is not great. Uh, I'm just using the webcam from that's on the computer, and at this point, I don't have any idea on how the audio is. But for those of you who are listening on Blog Talk Radio, it should be fine. So if you're wondering what is it that I'm fussing about, you can go to the website or go to YouTube and see it. It'll be recorded on for the year, and you can check the playlist for it. So it's it was a really difficult year for me on a lot of different levels, and there was a lot of change. And you know some of it was very personal for me. And the thing is that there were a lot of doubts. There were a lot of points when I just didn't know if I was up to doing all the stuff that I wanted to do. And that can be scary. It can be scary when you feel like you're in over your head. And there were definitely times through this year that I felt like I was in over my head. And it's tough, because sometimes people can not be very kind, and sometimes people cannot be very clear with what it is that they would prefer to talk about you than talk to you. And I was dealing with some of that over the year. And it is, you know, I guess it's just something that I want to let go of. And, because I don't want to take those feelings into the next year. I did not want them crossing that border. So, how do you manage that? Well, first off, by acknowledging that it was hurtful, that or it was scary, or all the stuff that you want to acknowledge that there was something that was not pleasant about it. And then you make a point. You can either write it down on a piece of paper and burn it. And oh God, Luna, what? She's like laying on your back, and it's like claw claw. So but you can put it onto a piece of paper and you can burn it. And and safely get a container and let it go. You can talk it over with somebody. You can kind of release it. Luna, stop. Good Lord, stop. So, it's, there's different ways that you can let go of things that don't serve you. And when you consider, first off, before you try to let it go, consider that maybe you haven't learned everything you need to learn from it. And, you know, think about that, because everything is meant for us to learn something from. Even the unpleasant stuff, we're meant to learn something from it. So figure out what it is that you were meant to learn and move on from there. Were you meant to learn that maybe you need to let go of the idea that people are going to react the way you would? Or maybe you need to embrace that having boundaries is okay. Maybe you need to go with the idea that, your spiritual contract with a person or a group may be complete, and maybe it's time to move on. So be able to look at it for what it is that it can give you, what that situation left, what was the gift that was left over. And then you can move forward into the idea that you can move forward from it, that it doesn't have to hold on to you. Someone, in fact, today was mentioning that, um, when I was talking about a particular situation where somebody had done something that, really affected me deeply. And so she brought up that, she wanted me to not give my power away to it. And the best thing about being a teacher, because this person had been a student of mine, and there is nothing so cool as when one of your students brings back one of the lessons that you taught and is able to help you kind of remember it yourself. Yeah, I always am very touched when students come forward and they feel that they can share with me, their insights and, things that they learned, and it was a part of what I taught. So teaching is very important to me. And the idea that I've spent a lot of years, a lot of years. I mean, I've been an empath since before birth. And I actually have evidence of that. And, that'll be something that we'll be talking about later on, when we talk about when people first realize that they're an empath. And oh, I will be doing the Thursday episode. The episodes will still continue to be at the same time on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So there will be one, tomorrow. Well, now tomorrow. So, but we'll start off talking about, what it feels like to be an empath. What does it mean to be an empath? Because ultimately, everybody's got to figure that out for themselves. They've got to figure out for, what that means to them. And we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be exploring that. So, so there's some very cool stuff that's coming up for this new year. There's some cool stuff that's coming up for, just within the next few months. And this is going to be a very turbulent year. This is going to be a challenging year. And, for those of you who are, outside of the US, I'm sure that a lot of people are kind of witnessing and wondering exactly how crazy the crazy train is going to get here. Well, it's going to get pretty crazy. And it doesn't have to take people away from their center. It doesn't have to change who they are. It doesn't have to disrupt what it is that they're able to, do to hold their balance point and to find their own eye of the storm. And that's going to be another thing that we're going to be discussing a lot, is how an empath finds their eye of the storm, which is a little different from, most other people. Now, I personally believe that everybody has a level of empathy, and it could just be a sensitivity and, an ability to resonate. And we're going to be talking about the idea of breaking empathy down into more of not so much about emotion as it is about the frequency and the energy that each emotion has. It's kind of like, to think of happy or sad, not from, the how we think about it. Well, happy is something that makes me feel good. Sad is something that makes me feel bad. And breaking it down to exactly what is the frequency, what is the energetic signature of that feeling, because the energy of it existed before we put a name on it. And so by studying that, empathy is really at its heart the ability to resonate at different frequencies and match those frequencies in other people. So it's going to be a very cool year. It's going to be a very interesting year of study, and I'm looking forward to focusing, because empathy is one of the things that I get asked about more than anything else. So so I look forward to sharing that information. I hope you can join me. Like I said, we'll be starting this tomorrow, Thursday, and I'm very excited about it. And I'm excited about the year. And I just want to thank all of you, um, those who have viewed, those who are subscribers. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. We only have 20 more subscribers to get, and then I can get a personal URL. And, that's like one of my early goals to, really kind of kick the channel up. And, just seeing the community grow. And, thank you to those who have let me know that it's been of value to them. And I really am very appreciative of all the support that I've gotten. And for those who are Patreon sponsors, thank you so much. Kathleen and Andrew, thank you for being Patreon sponsors. And also I'd like to thank Michelle, who has supported this channel, at the beginning. And I'd like to thank Kaina, who has helped me out a lot, and Alex. And there's a lot of people who have, encouraged me and helped me and supported me in this. So I want to thank all of you for that. And here's Luna. So do not pull that down. So thank you all. This is scary sometimes, and it does feel in over my head, but I find that I love it and I really enjoy this. And I hope that you'll continue to walk this journey with me. And if you would like to support this channel at a higher level, I mean, you could support it by liking the videos, by sharing the videos, and subscribing, comment. And and I do read the comments, so I will be addressing those. And if you want to support that, I've got a Patreon account, and you can go to that and become a monthly sponsor for as little as $2 a month. So I think that's it. That is all I wanted to say just for now, because I'm sure everybody is either exhausted or off enjoying themselves. But I did want to reach out and say happiest of all possible New Years. It's going to be 2020 is on every count supposed to be magical and amazing. So enjoy. And as always, I wish you balance. I wish you blessings from my heart to yours. Love you. And Happy New Year.